Meteor. That was Sephiroth's endgame in Final Fantasy VII. Sephiroth once asked Cloud for his hand, his strength to defy destiny together. The concept of together was almost certainly a wicked one by all perceptions other than the one-winged angels. The robed men share it together with Genova, after all. That is Sephiroth, a magician of words, a master of not lying, and yet being completely devoid of truth, even to himself. In the Temple of Ancients, the fallen first soldier said that the real black materia that lies between worlds will be used to summon Meteor, and that is his answer to the question asked over 2 years ago. At least in my emotional overcharged state, that's what I thought he was saying, but that is not actually what came out of his mouth. The temple's ghosts did state that the black materia will summon the destroyer of worlds, Meteor, after which all life on Gaia will perish.
Yet I shall remain.
This is Sephiroth's only confirmation of this whole notion, as the remainder of his insane monologues. Everything he has said in both Remake and Rebirth are about the reunion of worlds and emotions. His need for the black materia is solely tied to this reunion, at least as far as he has verbalized. It is very likely that Sephiroth has told no lie in the temple, as what he said remains in line with what he spoke to Cloud in private at the edge of creation, that at least part of his endgame is to not end, and for some reason, for Cloud to not end. So is Meteor Sephiroth's endgame a key part of a video to come? For now, after the tragic ending of the dream date, the dream, brutal hunt and murder, depending if you're looking at it from Aerith or Sephiroth's perspective, the one-winged angel continues to be obsessed with Cloud. Cloud and Sephiroth float through the energetic side of the multiverse, the in-between. Sephiroth smugly claims that the many worlds now abounding are born because fate was breached. And then witnessed before all of our collective eyes is Destiny's crossroads as the heroes are about to disappear into Aerith's portal. Presumably, Sephiroth is at the helm of whatever is being shown. And it is interesting that the one-winged angel did not show the wormhole that he created, and that was only modified by Aerith. Sephiroth is not telling a lie here. Post-singularity, the multiverse that is Gaia functioned very differently, but his explanation is grossly and purposely misleading. Consider that in the first 2 minutes of Remake, it becomes apparent that this Midgar is not the Midgar of Final Fantasy VII, because Sector 6 has fallen, and so timelines become a palpable reality. In Remake, Aerith and Sephiroth both strongly evidence knowledge of the future, extrasensory perception, repeatedly, and even other people without a drop of Cetra blood tap into this ESP occasionally. For instance, Wedge. And the Whispers themselves appeared to be obsessed with the events from 1997. And yet, if this is a multiverse of free will, how are things in Midgar so similar to Final Fantasy VII? Free will, something we witnessed exercised in Remake, and resulted in that story spiraling out of control by Chapter 4. As we came to learn later in 2020's Immortal Journey, this is a parallel timeline, kept parallel by the arbiters of fate, genocidal demigods. Beyond a very narrow threshold, there is no free will, and the end game of this timeline is extinction. For however many parallel timelines, no matter what anyone in one of those timelines should choose, defeating the Harbinger changed this. Sephiroth consumed the Whispers, and thus the multiverse of parallel timelines ended. And the insane dark god knew this too well for the mistruth that he told Cloud to have been accidental. In Ever Crisis, Sephiroth describes the life stream as an ever flow of memories and possibilities that come together to form story. Possibilities in Ever Crisis reveal themselves to be timeline universes following different actions and choices. Sephiroth voices that he knows that Gaia's natural state is a multiverse, but the lack of truth he relayed to Cloud in the in-between makes it seem that many worlds are unnatural and are a direct consequence of what Cloud and his friends did at Destiny's crossroads. However, the fallen first soldier was not outright lying. When the Whispers as we knew them were consumed, whether Remake or Rebirth, when fate is breached, to use Sephiroth's terms, new worlds are born. They are new, reflecting the idea idea that their future is free. And even if the future is written, there are no more genocidal demigods enforcing that written future. Zack lives. Aerith and Cloud are comatose in Elmira's house. Biggs and whoever rescued Biggs walk the streets of Midgar. Much of the upper plate is destroyed. None of this is remotely representational of Final Fantasy VII. Sephiroth, breaching fate, either intentionally or as an inconvenient byproduct of consuming the Whisper's power, caused this freedom. But not only this radical difference to the way things were, this newfound freedom as the past of a given timeline, possibility, dream, also do not have to be parallel to other pasts any more than the future does. It can seem like a bit of a mind bender, but consider Aerith's dream date, where she and Cloud appeared with accoutrements impossible for any linear past to explain. Likewise, Marlene, Biggs, whoever rescued Biggs, Elmira, comatose Aerith, and the comatose or deceased other heroes all hail from the events of Remake. And yet Zack and comatose Cloud emerge from the events of Crisis Core, also impossible by linear past, as Zack and Cloud's emergence occurs months before the Sector 7 plate has fallen. This is impossible unless it is a dream, memory, flashback, and then it becomes intuitive that these timelines all occur in the life stream. A dream, reality, including Remake and Rebirth, makes much of the phenomena that is occurring begin to click into place. It does rain in a church, and someone bereft of Cetra blood does see the future. As a brief aside, the idea of a lack of a linear past gives some insight into why we don't know where in Advent Children this all leads to. Sephiroth is at the center of everything, and the only time Sephiroth shows up in Advent Children is the end. But we will find out. Back to Sephiroth and his lies. That Sephiroth is speaking without telling the truth to mess with and control Cloud is unsurprising. Such trickery is uniform in most of Sephiroth's dealings. But was the One-Winged Angel breaking character by regaling his arch foe, future Aerith, Omni Aerith, whatever name you give her, as well as everyone else, with his true plans, when just about everything else the One-Winged Angel version of Sephiroth does is veiled in secrecy? It's certainly possible Sephiroth is insane, and Meteor undoubtedly is part of his plans. It's just odd that in the timeline dream with the Harbinger,
I'm waiting, Cloud.
Sephiroth consumes the continuity of the written future. Meteor, untold numbers of whispers. A portal opens in the sky above him, and much of the Midgar's upper plate is destroyed. This, presumably, is the timeline Zack walked in upon. Not immediately, as far as we can tell, but soon thereafter, a rift appears in the sky of this now doomed world. And on the world of Rebirth, after Sephiroth had acquired the keystone Black Materia,
I'm waiting, Cloud.
the continuity of the written future, Meteor, and untold numbers of whispers are consumed in a nearly identical manner, and a portal again opens in the sky. But this one has the rainbow light of new possibility, perhaps emboldened by the Black Materia. All that's going on here will be discussed more in a future video. Not immediately, as far as we can tell, but soon thereafter on this world, the world of Rebirth, at least as far as Cloud, who now walks between worlds, can see, is a rift in the sky. Is the world of Rebirth a relevant of Meteor, also now doomed? All of these phenomena could be directly or indirectly related, or not, but whatever will be, the simmering question remains. As ominous as ever, Meteor or not to Meteor? Is that even the question? What is Sephiroth's endgame? Imagination adventurers, until next time, I bid thee adieu.
The reunion.